now between marketing versus what I would consider prospecting, aka lead generation. We really want to focus on marketing. Marketing is the idea of how do you get people to be more familiar with you, more familiar with your brand, and how do you get people to walk and come to you versus you have to pay a significant amount of money for you to be put in front of them. Basically, for those who understand the push versus pull style marketing. Lead generation is great. We have a ton of webinars and a ton of trainings based on how to purchase leads, what types of leads to purchase, how to work them. Lead generation is crazy important. But I think what helps you, what the whole purpose and the goal is to stop relying on lead generation, which is incredibly expensive, and start incorporating to where people are coming to you, not you having to go to them. So that is what we want to talk about today, is not so much lead generation, but true marketing on how to build your name recognition.
Yes.
A huge reason for that, guys, is the market is changing. And it's not just, we talk a lot about the effects of COVID-19. COVID-19 certainly had a significant impact on seniors and insurance in general, but that's completely aside. It's what does the world look like today?
Right.
It's so different compared to it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago.
Well, even, I do think that COVID helped push or accelerate ways that the market was already moving in.
I think that's very fair.
Specifically like internet and like social media and stuff like that, which takes us into our next point. But I do think that not even just COVID alone, but it just accelerated the way that the market was already moving. So we got to be where it's already at now.
So just looking at some truths, looking at some facts, right now, the baby boomer generation is the longest working generation. Now, COVID-19, we did see a significant exit of baby boomers from the job market. They went ahead and retired at that time. But a lot of them, again, if you look at the psychology behind boomers, a lot of their self-worth is put behind their jobs, behind their income. That's where they really show their pride. And so you're seeing the baby boomers are not retiring at 62. The average retirement age is actually creeping up way past 67. You're starting to see the average retirement age almost crawl into the 70s. And so that's a trend that we're seeing. People are working longer, but more importantly, seniors are actually online now more than ever. The statistics are crazy about what percentage of seniors have a Facebook page, what percentage of seniors prefer online shopping versus going to a brick and mortar store. I think what it comes down to more is that seniors are actually doing their research online. They're not learning about Medicare from an advisor. They're learning about Medicare from an online presence. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Again, the information online is not correct more times than not, but that's where they're going to seek their information. They're going to advisors for what's it called, validation of their opinions and what they think. So the role of the advisor is changing, less education based, more advisement based.
Right, exactly. And that's not just because that's what's happening in our market. That's how everything is now in every industry. Everything is online. Every clothing shop has an online version. Everything is online. So they're already used to doing that with everything else in their life. They can even shop for groceries using an app if they want. They don't even have to go in the store. Target. We fight about this. I think it's the best way to shop. Just pick it up. They put it in my car. That point aside, people are used to doing that. So why would they not already shop and figure out their options beforehand going to talk to you?
David says retirement is a myth. I'm 73 and love working. I may not work 40, 50 hours per week, but I do put in that 20 to 30. Interesting. Not why we're here today. Would happy to talk about it later. My senior year of college, I actually had a study published talking about the effects of retirement and unemployment in general, and the increase of depression when one person retires. So it's a very interesting study. I won't talk about it now because but it is relevant, David. The world agrees with you. You are the norm in a lot of those aspects.
Right. Well, also boomers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that boomers also are the demographic that have a lot of growing debt because they took on the debt of their kids that they were paying to go to college.
That's a great point.
And so other than millennials obviously taking on their own debt, a lot of parents did. So then they're working longer because they have debt later in life because of their children's student loans. That's just something that I saw one time. So it's like not only do they just want to work longer, some people don't have the option. They
Shame on them for loving their kids enough to pay for their education.
I know, for real. My parents.
Who are these parents? Who are paying for their kids' college? And then another thing I think is really important to note is that it's harder to stand out.
Yes.
It's harder. Again, the market is incredibly saturated with information and with good agents, but also the baddies. Call centers are on an all-time high. Joe Namath, Joe Montana, somebody, all these people are talking about Medicare benefits.
Right.
A ton of these fly-by-night. Whenever COVID did happen, more people joined the insurance agent or the insurance industry because they lost their job, loved the idea of working from home. It's really affordable to become an insurance agent. And so it's harder now than ever because of all the noise to stand out. And then last but not least, the old marketing tactics, guys, they're just not working. Going door to door and looking for who has the rocking chairs and the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore. Seniors aren't sitting on their front porch yelling at kids to get off their lawns. They're out there, they're active, they're marathon runners. They are people who are creating. I mean, there's so many people who retire to start their own business. And there's this, it's this, the senior today is completely different than the seniors that we had 10 years ago.
Yes.
So making sure that we are being where they are at. We appeal to today's seniors. And the number one thing I always hear is like, well, my seniors, my clients don't look like that. My clients
Right.
don't have email addresses. My clients don't want to get out and be active. Make sure that these marketing techniques are designed for the clients that you want. The wealthy baby boomers. That's who we want. They're wealthy, they're healthy, and they're here. They're going to stay on the books a lot longer. So that's the type of client we're trying to help you attract.
Yes.
And then, yes, I love that. My husband and I both still work, ages 67 or 76 and 80. 100%, Carol. So let's go into, this one hurt. I am the world's first millennial. Okay, so the first marketing idea and tactic we want to talk about is TikTok. And I will be the first to tell you, our partners at United Healthcare come into our office and they say, girls, why aren't you on TikTok? Why isn't the university on TikTok? Medicare Cafe, which is another training platform. And I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I don't have the energy for TikTok. TikTok is for children. And unfortunately, I was incredibly wrong. So you're going to start seeing us on TikTok, guys, because that's where the market needs to be. TikTok, let's just talk about why. Why is TikTok an incredible platform to be on? Then we'll talk a little bit about how to use it. Number one, TikTok was the most downloaded application in 2020, beating out Facebook, which had dominated the app downloads since like 2011. It has 850 million downloads in 2020, and not even in the year of 2020 had 850 million downloads. And of course, that has done nothing but skyrocket since then. It's wild. 31% of the users are 40 plus, 11% of the users are 55 plus, and the fastest growing demographic is that 40 plus. Well, you might be saying, Olivia, if they're 40 years old, they have, 25 years before they're relevant to me. Keep in mind, who are those 40-year-olds? Those 40-year-olds are the people taking care of mom and dad. They're the ones who are a lot of times investing in their health. They're the ones who are doing the research and asking the questions. These are the kids, or oftentimes the decision makers of your clients. So making sure you are where the decision makers are. And again, they say the average age of a caregiver the average caregiver is a woman who is 45 years old.
Yeah.
Guess who's on TikTok, guys?
Yep. And their grandkids are obviously the largest demographic that's on TikTok is going to be their grandkids' age. But just think about how often people are talking about TikToks, things they saw on TikTok, stuff like that. And also TikToks are not just something that you have to use on TikToks. You can make these videos and then post them on your Facebook page as well.
The TikTok videos are the most versatile platform.
Yeah.
Because like I'm just saying what you said it perfectly, and I'm just going to railroad over it. But you're exactly right. You make a TikTok video. It's
on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need. You don't need any fancy equipment.
Post it to Facebook. You post it to literally everything, to your website.
Yep.
And the search engine on it is incredible.
Yes, exactly.
Last but not least, something that, again, you always want to be where the people are and where they're going to be at more frequently. 90% of individuals visit the TikTok app at least once per day. 54% of them are twice per day. And they say that that utilization is unheard of. The only other utilization that comes close to that is Facebook, and Facebook doesn't even reach that level of utilization. So it is the highest used platform for people over the age of 40 especially.
Yes. Exactly.
Now, what kind of content should you post on social media? Reminder that who is the audience? The majority of the people of the audience there is 40 plus. So a lot of the things is people go to TikTok, yes, for some entertainment value, but the idea is, I hear it all the time, I learned this from TikTok. I learned how to do this from TikTok. And so making sure we work with an organization that does an incredible job of, they just get on TikTok and they just say, hey, I got this question today asked by me. And they will just do like what I call floating heads, but just like the selfie holding the camera, and just give a less than 3 minute, which is perfect because the attention span, you can't talk about Medicare more than 3 minutes with somebody. But they just did a quick 90-second, even less than video of that, of just saying, hey, I had a client ask me this question about Medicare. Let me explain this to you. And it got crazy hits. The reason why TikTok actually works better than Instagram, actually works better than Twitter, and especially the almighty Facebook, is because the algorithm works differently. You don't have to have a large amount of users or a large amount of followers for you to have your content put in front of somebody. So you don't have to be seen any less than Will Smith or Christina Aguilera. I guess that's how dated I am. Who is a famous TikToker?
I'm not even the person to ask about that.
I don't know, but your content, you don't have to have a large following to have your content put in front of somebody.
Yes.
That's how TikTok was designed. So you can start, it takes very minimal startup. You don't have to go and out ask for followers. You don't have to go out and make a ton of content.
Right.
Just start doing it, and and TikTok will automatically put your content in front of somebody else.
Yes. So if you're a little bit confused about what all this means, just to put in perspective, Facebook, the only people on your timeline are the people that you follow, that you're friends with.
Wild.
YouTube, if you go to YouTube, you will get content of people that you follow, but not just people that you follow. If you go to YouTube, you're getting videos of people that you've never seen before. It's just the algorithm picking videos for you. So it's more like YouTube in the sense of the content that you see rather than Facebook, just to put in perspective.
You'll just be seen more often on TikTok than you will on Facebook.
Yes.
You'll be seen by new people more often than you were on really any other platform.
Yes.
So just keeping that in mind, keeping your videos short, sweet, simple, very simple content, answer questions, and again, the idea is to do it the most consistently. Michelle asks, can you take something down if the info becomes outdated? Absolutely, you can take things down, you can add things all the time. It's a really easy platform, very user-friendly, easy interface, and a really incredibly easy one to work with. We have already seen the effects of somebody who all they do is they get on there and they start talking about Medicare, and they don't do any other type of lead generation. All of their leads come from TikTok, and they're all people calling in to her, asking her questions. So that's the first one, kind of the main one that we like to talk about because it was one that I severely had to overcome. Another really great marketing idea, again, marketing less than prospecting, is sponsoring your local sports teams. And I don't mean T-ball. I'm talking about look out those senior sports and those senior athletics. Seniors are active. You can certainly thank mainstream media for basically, all the AARP ads about keeping people up, keeping people active. Seniors are more active today than really any other time in history. So making sure that you are going to where they are. Rec centers have classes, rec centers have leagues that are designed specifically for seniors, senior softball leagues. We joke right now, I saw, Chaylin mentioned that pickleball is the fastest growing sport for seniors.
It's huge.
My mom is begging me to come play pickleball with her. She's on a pickleball league. I thought that was just my mom being crazy, and I didn't see the national numbers of pickleball.
Yes, pickleball is huge. So in my hometown, the YMCA, that's like the big recreation center or whatever, and the pickleball league is literally seniors and then people in like their 20s, and there's no gap in between. So it's like, but it's mainly more seniors.
Yeah,
people love, because in like tennis, it used to be tennis, and now pickleball is a little bit easier. I
would say like golf too. Golf is another one. Golf as a boomer is I say that golf is my favorite thing to do. I'm a golfer. But I love the idea, again, they're out there being active. I know an agent that we work with, they do seminars. The best performing seminars that they do are at the YMCA.
Yes.
Because, they'll partner with somebody and they'll say, here's how to stay active as a senior, join our leagues, do this, and then he'll talk about wellness visits.
Right.
So just making sure, get out there, get into those and sponsor these teams, buy them shirts, buy them rackets, have a banner in that YMCA. It's all about getting them familiar with your name and familiar with your image, because familiarity equals trust. Trust will equal sales.
And also, I can't say that there's probably going to be a ton of competition as far as who else is sponsoring.
Well, no, because it's unique.
So yes, exactly. Get your foot in the door now.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. So I love this idea. It makes me happy because
too.
I know that there are so many. I know people that my parents aren't quite seniors. They're just right underneath 65, but their friends are starting to get into it.
My
so
mom
I'm telling
is
you,
literally begging me, come home and play pickleball with me. She's on a league.
Yeah.
And that woman, she works out more than I do.
Oh,
she can bench press a Buick. It's insane. Next idea, and this is actually something I would love to take the credit for this, but this is actually something United Healthcare came to us about 5 or 6 years ago, whenever the D-SNP market started becoming like this overwhelming force that people had to pay attention to. But and there's so many cool, fun ideas. This is one that they say like, this works.
Yeah.
Movie nights, and honestly, we don't have it on here, but ice cream socials. We kind of have it there in a little bit, but sponsor a movie night, especially with your local theater. It doesn't cost a tremendous amount to rent out a matinee, like a 2 o'clock feature, a 3 o'clock feature, and rent that out and offer to do a movie night for these seniors. Now, some of them will say, okay, well, I'll go do like the old, like, let's watch Dirty Dancing. Let's watch some of these older classics. But I even like the new one, because those are the cheaper ones to run. They're more affordable. But even again, we were talking about the new Maverick movie. All these individuals are obsessed and wanting to watch it. I've heard it's really good. I've not watched it yet. But it's a really fun idea. Very popular in the D-SNP market because these individuals are not willing to go out and purchase a movie ticket for themselves. So whenever they are advertised that they get that done for free. It's also an incredibly awesome networking opportunity to partner with other organizations. If you can't front the cost, partner with other organizations that work with that same demographic, but again, aren't necessarily your competition.
Yes, exactly. And this is something that you can make your kind of reputation, like, oh, every Memorial Day weekend, every single year, you know that this agency is sponsoring. And it's something that you can get the caregivers to go to. You can take your grandchildren. It's more than just the seniors themselves. It's an event that they can take their family to, which means they're more likely, honestly, to go.
Absolutely.
And so making it kind of a family thing and kind of tying your name to that, I think is, I don't know. I love this idea.
And I think it is. And I'll tell you what, you don't necessarily have to foot the bill.
Right.
United Healthcare and Aetna both have sponsored these and paid for these events in the name of the agent. So this does work best for the D-SNP market, and carriers are willing to foot the bill for it. So just making sure that, like, yeah, you can partner, you can foot the bill yourself, but be the face of it. Get your carrier partners to pay for it. They're asking people like, hey, we want to sponsor these. We need a face for it. Be that face.
Literally, in those situations, all you're really paying for is the advertisement for it. And that would be a great thing to put on, advertise on, maybe not TikTok, since TikTok isn't local necessarily, but Facebook. Make Facebooks, boost your Facebook posts, start giving out flyers, put it in your window, whatever you need to do.
And like you said, encourage them, bring your friends, bring your family, encourage them to bring more people, because you're renting out a theater, might as well fill it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The next idea that we have is to make sure that you are partnering. Again, a lot of these ideas are local because it's about getting local. Partnering with local business for giveaways and ideas. This one's fresh on my mind because I'm going to tell you, I am a little stressed right now. I'm a part of an organization that puts on a giant tractor pull. I've talked about it in the other trainings I've done this week. This is one of our biggest promotions for our tractor pull, is that we go to local businesses to say, like, do you have anything to give for silent auctions? Do you have anything to give away for raffles? And they're happy to do it. One, it's a write-off for them, so they're happy to give stuff off, but they love to advertising it. So we'll say, like, you know, one of them was Henderson Implement. They're giving away this leaf blower that you can, you know, have an auction for, things like that. But they advertise it too, like, hey, we're giving away this stuff at this auction, at this event. So there's a ton of free advertisement that comes by getting other local businesses invested in your cause.
Yes.
So ours is for a charity. 100% of the proceeds go towards the Children's Miracle Network, but it's also a really cool idea to just say do a free contest.
Right.
We work with a partner out of Kansas City, and they do this. They go to their local coffee shops, they go to their local restaurants, and they go to local boutiques, and they say, hey, we're going to do a client appreciation giveaway. Can we buy at discount, or if you're willing to give away free, we'll promote your services, we'll promote what you do and give this away, and so that you're being advertised by our agent or our client appreciation. A lot of people are very willing to do that. So both if you want to like raise money, ask for things like that, or you're doing it as a client appreciation, many local businesses are happy to do that because it promotes them and promotes their services.
Yes. To kind of speak on the raising money for a cause, fundraising, being the toy drive, all that sort of stuff, it is such a good look.
It is such
a good look for your business to be not just to constantly be involved in the community, constantly be raising money, constantly be partnering or working with organizations that, yes, involved in your community in bigger ways that are more than just like, hey, look at me, come buy things from me. Giving back, that is a huge thing for people in their minds. If they're constantly seeing you do things for your community, again, I think of my small town, close knit community. The businesses that are the biggest businesses in my mind that I think of are the people that are constantly putting their names in front of causes. They're giving money to things. They're working with these organizations, stuff like that. That even sits in people's subconscious, just, and so
they're good people because they give.
And they give back to the community. They're part of the community. They want to be a locally known business. I don't know. I think it's awesome.
And again, like, it's a lot of it is a write-off. Like, I mean, like, at the end of the day, you're a business, so you need to make sure that you can, again, make sure that you are putting your money where it belongs. A lot of that is charity and stuff like that for the write-off.
And you don't even have to do a ton.
No.
Like, literally, like this says on here, I might be skipping down a little bit, but being a toy drop-off, that's free. That's literally free, but you're helping out the community.
And you're giving people a reason to be in your office.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So
yeah, again, there's so many things. Obviously, the best part is that you're giving to the community, you're helping out people in need and all that stuff. But it absolutely will help you grow your business and become an entity. Again, what I would call that pull marketing. You're not pushing your stuff out there. You're pulling people into you, and you're pulling people into knowing your brand.
Yes.
Doing this stuff will absolutely create a really positive image for your brand. Keep in mind, organizations like Walmart, Target, all these companies pay millions of dollars strictly just for their, what's the word I'm looking for whenever, PR, their public relations. This is free PR for your organization. So it absolutely is worth the investment. Mary asked, is this during AEP? Mary, you can do this anytime that you would like to.
And I think she was asking that maybe about the movie as well.
Oh,
I think that was, which this can be done any time of year, especially around the holidays. We have that on there. That's amazing. The movie really can be done anytime. I think during the summer while it's hot, give a place for people to come in.
Yeah.
And that's right before AEP, which I think is good. Yeah, have, your name on people's minds.
Absolutely. Yes. And keep in mind, especially the JewelSnip market, they get an election every quarter.
Yes.
So the DSNP market is the best market to work during the other 50 or 46 months out of the year, or 46 weeks out of the year. So yeah, you can do it during AEP, but it would also be an incredible activity to do outside of AEP.
And honestly, you have to be marketing all 24/7. You have to be marketing all year round. So really any of these things, just it's important to stay in front of people all the time, no matter how it is. So really any of these can be done at any time.
Absolutely. The last one we're going to say, up until this point, we've been talking strictly about marketing. This one is going to be a little bit more of that lead generation. Everything up until this point has been, how do I keep my business open in 30 years? These are more tomorrow activities. So reminder, I just want to say I was working with this agency out of Colorado, and I loved this idea. They were incredible at it and had a lot of really success with this. And that was doing door-to-door. Now, keep in mind, you can't do door-to-door Medicare Advantage. You can't do door-to-door prescription drug plans. We're not suggesting that. And if you're in Ohio, you can't do door-to-door, period. But what they would do is when that person was 64, they turned 64, they would go to them and knock on their door and sing happy birthday. And then once they sang, because again, you have to stand out. This market is incredibly flooded. They would give them a bag, and that bag had their logo on it. It had their phone number on it. Sometimes it had a face shot on it. And they would give them a bag and say, you're 64 years old. You're about to get crazy inundated by mail that says Medicare. 90% of what you get is absolutely worthless. It's advertising and it's misleading. If it has the word Medicare on it, put it in this bag. 3 months before your 65th birthday, call this number on this bag, and you and I will go through this piece by piece and sort out what you need.
Yes.
And so what that did is every single time they got a piece of Medicare mail, they put it in that bag, they saw the brand, they saw the phone number, and it just was subconsciously building that trust with that brand. And they were the first one at the door. If you're starting your marketing 6 months or when they're 64 and a half, that's way too late.
Right.
AARP starts whenever they're 55 years old.
Right.
So making sure that, again, you are doing something that's unique. The singing happy birthday was unique and cute and kind of broke the ice.
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
It broke the ice. But then giving them that birthday bag saying, put it here. You're about to get a crazy ride for the next year.
And the thing I love about this idea the most is you are offering them a service. You are helping them out before they even have the opportunity to spend a dime with you.
Absolutely.
You are showing them before they even have to worry about all this stuff. I'm taking care of you. I'm giving you a solution to a problem you don't even realize you have yet.
Yes.
So you are the first in line. You're the first person. At least you will be the first person they think of.
And it's crazy the amount of people that say, why did you work with the agent that you work with? Because they were the first.
Yes.
The overwhelming amount is not because they were the best. It's not because they were noticed. Well, they were first. They're the first person I talked to about it. So that's just who I worked with.
Yes.
Do it. I hate T65 marketing, period.
Yeah.
I don't believe in T65 marketing, period, because it's so crazy inundated.
So saturated.
64, give him a birthday bag. You don't even have to do this song, but the song does work.
It works.
Give him a birthday bag. It absolutely is worth that investment.
Yes.
The other side of that is what I call the accordion folder for cross-selling. We worked with an agent that they would come in and they would do dental, vision, hearing mailers. Because we all know right now, guys, mailers are struggling. Companies that used to get 1.5 or 2% return on mailers are right now getting less than 1%.
Yeah.
So mailers right now are struggling to that turning 65 market. The H mailers and mailers going to the above 70 market are fine. They're still getting those returns. So do a turning 60 or do a mailer to any age and make sure that it is a DVH mailer or a cancer mailer. You know, I like DVH because it is no underwriting. It is a very easy to understand product.
Yes.
People are aware of how dental works. It takes less sales, more just order taking. So it's a great get your foot in the door.
Yes.
But what they would do is whenever they delivered a dental policy or they talked about dental policy, they would have one of those, you know, those folders that the accordion, you open it up and they have all the separations. They would have one filed dental, vision, hearing, cancer, medical, hospital, final expenses, and then like the long-term and annuities and things like that. So then that person would see, okay, so they actually handle all of these products, but they're only filling, like physically filling this one. So it would open the door to saying like, hey, I handle all of this. We're here today to talk about dental, vision, and hearing, but I cover all these other lines, and currently you're not protected with these other lines. So
Yes.
it was a very mental or very visual explanation of all the holes in coverage that person has.
I mean, a lot of people that are turning 65, they legitimately do not know all the different kinds of insurance that you can get, all of the different risks that they have. So this is not even telling them, hey, I cover all this, but this is also just a simple way of being, hey, these are all things that you might want to look into. These are all risks that you can potentially have, and it's tying it back to your name. Better to hear it from you first than for them to have coverage with you and then other people be able to prospect the clients you already have of these different avenues. They already know that those are risks and that you can take care of them.
Absolutely. Now, I know Peter mentioned that all he does is the turning 65. He does direct marketing, 20 new enrollments each month. Peter, again, what we're seeing across the industry is that just, you know, and again, I love that for you. You must be doing something different than what the rest of the industry is doing, because the T65 market is struggling right now for an independent field agent. So congratulations to that success. You must be doing something very different.
Yeah.
Dean says, I have been seeing dated opinions on MAPDs based on the HMO concept. Would a TikTok to do a quick educational piece i.e. they're doing different types of Medicare Advantage plans. Dean, absolutely. Just make sure you got to be careful when you're talking about, doing some education for Medicare Advantage plans. Be careful not to talk about specific dollar amounts, because when you're talking about dollar amounts and things like that, then you can be talking about, it could be tied to specific plans.
Yeah, specific
if you're talking about specific
stuff.
plans, specific benefits, things can get pretty hairy with compliance. But if you talk about like what the structure of a Medicare Advantage plan and why they're different,
speaking,
and just general education on Medicare Advantage plan, that's a perfect TikTok. Like I could see like 3 myths on Medicare Advantage. Do a TikTok on the 3 myths about Medicare Advantage plan. That is like beautiful. Do that. I love that. Let's do that.
Yes, and the best thing, yes, we're stealing it. No, but one awesome thing about TikTok, and this, I feel like this is a perfect example of that, is people nowadays want things that they're straying away from long YouTube videos and going to YouTube Shorts and TikTok, because they get their information. Now I think 3 minutes is the absolute tops, but it's normally like 30 seconds or a minute. They're getting the information that they need quickly, and TikToks do that.
Do you know what's really sad? It used to be that like the time frame of what you have to do to re-engage somebody is going down, down, down. 10 years ago, every 18 minutes you had to re-engage somebody. Do you know what it is today?
I don't want to know.
8 seconds.
Yes.
Every 8 seconds you have to re-engage somebody in your content, especially on an online tablet like platform, because there's too many. This exercise of swiping is way too easy. If you don't have their attention the first 8 seconds, they're moving on.
Yes. Dean, great idea.
I love it, Dean. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. The last we have here is just to throw a party. This goes kind of back to the idea of, the movie theater idea, but client appreciation events are so underutilized. Do an annual client appreciation event and ask them to bring their family and ask them to bring their friends, because they're more likely to come, because social anxiety is a real thing. They're not likely to come if they're going by themselves. And a lot of people think, well, client appreciation, my family's not invited because they're not a client. More people will come, and your future clients, aka referrals, will be there as well. So build the relationship, become known in your community, throw client appreciation events, and encourage them to bring their families and loved ones. Have stuff for the kids. Do bounce houses.
Yes,
I love that too, because then you can get other people in your market or other people in your town to sponsor activities as well. And don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and say, hey, let's do a co-opt client appreciation event. You're a lawyer, I'm an insurance, let's do a client appreciation together, split the cost, so on and so forth.
Yes, I think one thing, we've talked about this a little bit, but I think sometimes people underestimate the thought or the idea of events that involve the whole family, because how is that relevant? Not only will it most likely bring other people there, but how you're playing the long game. I know that agents over at Senior Benefit Services, our sister company, they talk about how their newer clients now are the children of the people that they took care of. You're playing the long game with them. If you're taking really good care of their parents and their grandparents, you can guarantee who they're going to go to whenever they reach the age of turning 65. So you got to play the long game with these things. And things like throwing a party, you're already establishing that relationship with the person that's turning 65 in 15 years, 10 years.
Absolutely. Mary says that she doesn't necessarily have the budget for that. Mary, that's again, you work with your carrier partners, you work with people who can sponsor it, but a lot of carriers are more than happy to sponsor the hot dogs, the buns, the grill. They're more than happy to sponsor a lot of these things, especially for client appreciation. But let's just say maybe you have a book of business of like 50 people. Less than that. You have a book of business of 30 people. Do you really want to do it? Maybe you're not quite there to where a client appreciation event is appropriate. We worked with an agent out of Kansas City, and I love it. They would sponsor happy hours at the senior centers, and they would do like Margarita Thursdays and things like that. So they would sponsor senior meet events, and so like senior, like even like senior dating and things like that. They would sponsor these events at these centers, and the senior centers loved it because it wasn't coming out of their budget to put on these activities, and they thrive with these activities. So the events loved it. But then the seniors loved it. Again, all getting people to be more familiar with you, more familiar with your brand. So these happy hours, they did margaritas it was like the first Tuesday of the month, they did margaritas at the senior center.
Yep.
They sponsored bingo, they sponsored all these things. So just keeping that in mind as well. It was a really, really awesome way that they had a great time. They built a lot of relationships that way, and they absolutely got some business out of it.
Yes, absolutely. Because you're going to them. So it's not like you have to wait for people to come to your party. You're going to their party. We'll call it a party already. And then also you don't have to rent it. You know, there's already a venue. You're just showing up. You're just paying for
and
the
you're being
supplies.
Invited for it. Like people want you to do that. It's awesome.
Exactly.
Mary said, what's the size of the book of business with like a client appreciation fee for? It's literally like as big as you want to make it. I've been to client appreciation events where it's me and like 8 other people.
Right.
And it was much more intimate, but you got to meet people, and we were encouraged to bring friends, family, and loved ones. I've been to client appreciation events where there were thousands of us there. So like, it's all about, again, I don't think there is a minimum of how many clients you need to have before you can do an event.
Yeah.
It's just going to be where's the venue?
Yeah.
Where's the venue look like? Are you doing this in your office, or are you renting a park to do this?
Right.
You know? The last thing was just some last minute, just some last easy ideas to do. If you have a United Healthcare license, guys, United Healthcare contract, are you familiar with ACE? ACE is United Healthcare's volunteering program, to where if you do 50 hours of volunteering, they'll actually do a news article about you. They will give you a huge plaque and trophy to have in your office that you're a member of the program. But they do driving courses. And if a senior, these driving courses are designed specifically for people over the age of 65. And if the person does them, they get discounts on their car insurance. And you can do this for free if you have a United Healthcare contract. So start doing these United Healthcare ACE driving courses. They're awesome. Vintage postage just was a cool idea, just to make sure like mail that you do open or do have gets opened. Just a little idea. We also have on there, handwrite your letters with blue ink. Don't do just with your client's name on a letter. Don't just do like a label. Actually handwrite the postage on the labels.
If you're going to do mailers, make your mailers stand out in some sort of way, even if it's subtle. Make it different than all the other things that they're receiving in the mail.
Terry asks, the local Elks Club does bingo. The local Elks Club does bingo. Is this a good way, or is there a good way to connect? Absolutely. Sponsor bingo. Go buy some of the prizes for bingo. Careful, you can call bingo. I used to call bingo for a job I had. I would never do it again. It's the most terrifying. They get hateful.
Pitchforks, all the
I literally had people like stand up. This person, God bless her, she had a brand new hip and she wasn't afraid to use it. Terrifying. So like, if you're gonna call bingo, be careful, because it gets very violent with seniors in their bingo. But yes, there's a ton of awesome. Sponsor it. Be a caller at your own risk. Come up with some of the prizes, things like that. Sponsor the wheel. You know what I mean? There's a lot that you can do with that.
Yes.
The non-Medicare 101 seminars, I recently just did. I don't know if you guys saw it with Nice Slosh and Fleming, who is an Integrity partner. Just did a podcast with them that's on YouTube. And something that we talked about at the very, very end was talking about how I wish agents would stop doing Medicare 101. It's the most requested presentation that agents have. They said, hey, I'm doing a Medicare 101. Can I borrow, can you guys have materials for me? Medicare number 101 is great for turning 65ers and nobody else. So we recommend, like if you've been on Medicare for 5 years, you don't want a Medicare 101. Medicare is boring. No one wants to talk about it. So if you do something like Medicare and diabetes, top 10 things you didn't know about Medicare, making the most out of your Medicare benefits. You're going to get those turning 65ers, but you're also going to get people who are on Medicare and just want to make sure they're making the most out of those benefits.
Yes.
And then last but not least, here we have the candy dishes at establishments. It's actually old school. That's a very old school tactic, but it's kind of been lost, especially after COVID. But when you do a candy dish, I worked with an agent who had a candy dish in not real estate, estate planning, had in a lawyer's office. This helps me.
Yeah, this
is nice. Had an agent who was working as an estate planner, and they had a candy dish. And of course, if you try to set up a meeting with a lawyer and you're not willing to pay a couple $100 for that meeting, they're not going to meet with you. And so they would go into the lawyer's office and meet with the receptionist and be like, hey, we do the same thing. I have clients that work with you. Would you be okay with me putting business cards here? And I'm going to have this fish tank of candy.
Yes.
So that like your people get candy, and she confirmed that, yeah, that's fine. So with candy, what happens? People eat it, the dish lowers. So every week on like a Thursday, they would go in and refill their candy dishes. Eventually, they built a relationship with that receptionist. They became the candy guy.
Yeah.
And they ended up building a relationship with the lawyer just out of the fact that that lawyer got used to seeing them on a regular basis. That lawyer and that agent now do co-branded seminars, and they do absolutely no lead generation because that lawyer is keeping them busy with the Medicare clients. And it all has to do with building that relationship, which takes time and takes consistency. Filling a candy dish is an excellent reason to be in somebody's office.
Yes, exactly. And you're building relationships with the gatekeepers as well. That's another thing. You're building relationships with the office staff, which you never want to underestimate. Sometimes that admin staff, sometimes the receptionist, the front, sometimes they're the ones running the office.
They are always the one running the office.
Yes, exactly. So getting your foot in the door with them as well is pretty big.
Mary was asking the question, how do you make a mailer stand out? Is against CMS rules to add anything to an approved flyer, like a note. If it is a CMS approved anything, you cannot alter it. You cannot write, highlight, circle. If it's CMS approved, you cannot alter it and hand it to a client. It is no longer considered a compliant piece. And so when I say mailers, I don't like when people are doing like lead gen. I don't like sending out postcards. If it looks like advertising, it's not going to get open.
Yes,
it's going to get ignored.
Straight to the trash.
So it's more things like turning 65 letters, asking, other things like that. Or if you have an existing client, advertising to an existing client, making sure that if it looks like a piece of advertising, if it looks like a bill, people are not going to open that, at least immediately. They will eventually, but they're not excited about it. When you get a letter and it's a handwritten address, people will open that immediately because of the curiosity. What is this?
Yes.
So that is something that will absolutely stand out. And Mary said, what is the other idea? The top 10 things you didn't know about Medicare, 5 ways to make the most out of your Medicare benefits, things like that. So it is, again, so we do, Senior Marketing Specialists, we do have something called webinars or seminars in a box. This helps me. We have something called seminars in a box that we have pre-made seminars that are compliant that you have access to.
Yes.
Yeah, Mary says, I think this is a great idea, but I didn't know we could send non-CMS approved anything. Absolutely, Mary. Talk with our agent resources team. Things do not have to be considered CMS approved to be able to be sent. There's a difference between marketing and communications. There's also about what's the content. If you're talking about C or D, yes, that has to be approved. If you're talking about C or D benefits, yes, that's a CMS violation. But if you're talking about you as an agency, the services that you offer, dental, vision, hearing, cancer insurance, you can send any of that out, no problem.
Yes, exactly. That's why we say that a lot of those cross-selling things are good foot in the doors, because they're easy things to send your information out, get your foot in the door before the other products as well.
Get local. That's kind of, if there's a theme to any of this, guys, even if you're somebody who sells virtually. I know I saw earlier Victor. Good morning, Victor. I know, Victor, you are somebody who sells over the phone and does a lot of that stuff. Very rarely are your clients in your backyard, and that's completely fine. There are still ways to get local on a large scale. So that is what we're talking about today, making sure, because when you get local, you're no longer this faceless entity that happens up with Medicare. You know what doctors they are in that network.
Yes.
You know the political climate in that area. You can speak educated on what's going on in that person's backyard. You don't have to be local to get local.
Yes, exactly. And this also includes getting involved in local organizations, donating to local causes, all that sort of stuff. Get involved in your community, because people want to work with people that they know are doing good and are involved in the community, are involved in more parts of people's lives than just the part that they can make money off of.
Absolutely. So guys, on that note, any questions, comments, concerns, threats, or promises? If you've had questions and burning and you're just waiting for the end because you wanted to see if we were going to get to it, we didn't get to it, well, let us know what your question is. I'm sweating. This fan.
I know, this fan. I don't know if they can hear it or not, but it's
turning on and off. Can you guys hear our Satan fan in the corner? Can you guys hear what's going on? It's either being like completely off or it's the Arctic air, and there's nothing in between. This is wild. Carol says they can't hear it, thank God,
Good,
because
yeah.
I am distracted.
It's
by
driving
it.
me nuts.
I am
yes.
distracted by it. Cynthia asked, how can we contact you? This is how you can contact us, guys. That is our 800 number. Making sure that, again, if you do just want to check out our website and what resources we offer, smsteam.net. For additional training, we have an entire training on how to build a 3-pronged marketing system. One of these ideas should be one of those prongs in that marketing system. Go to sms-university.com as well, and I'm more than happy. There's a ton of training on there. But the best thing about working with senior marketing specialists are the people.
Yes.
So call that 800 number, call our office. You do not get triage. You get a live person every time. Tell them, I just watched the most incredible webinar in the world, and I want to talk to somebody about it.
Yes.
And they'll be like, gotcha.
And even if you don't have the time to call or anything, we have a live chat feature on our website. That's also real people. It's not robots behind it. Whenever you talk to our live chat, you are talking to someone on our agent outreach team or agent resources team. I'm sorry. So whatever works best for you.
Outreach. Yeah, depending on what you need. Cynthia, my name's Olivia Richardson. I'm one of the executive sales directors with Senior Marketing Specialist.
And I am Sadie Palmer. I am the team leader of our training and education team here.
Yeah. Unless you're calling to complain about us.
Then my name is Josh or Matt.
Yes, my name is Matt. This is my friend Josh.
Yes.
Awesome. So any other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or promises, please let us know. Again, we do appreciate you guys asking questions. If you guys, again, want to go over, like, I think this marketing idea would work, would like to explore it a little bit more, reach out to us, please. That's what we're here for.
That's a big conversation that our agent resources team has all the time. People call in and say, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? They'll be real with you. They've heard everything. Honestly, they really have. So feel free to ask us. That's what our teams are here for.
Appreciate you guys for hanging in there with us. It was a longer webinar than I anticipated, but there was just so many cool ideas. I didn't know which one to cut.
I know. So. And it
So.
even felt like we didn't even scratch the surface.
We didn't scratch the surface. We had to breeze over a lot of it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks again.
Thank you.